I don't really fucking care. You wanna know fucking why? Because I don't fucking live in the fucking world! I live in fucking New York City! So go fuck yourself!
Welcome to day 16 of Michael Keaton Month, where I'll be reviewing all the movies Michael Keaton has appeared in. Today is a double bill, two movies that were released in 1994, but I want to keep this one quite short, so really when I scheduled this whole thing I was really kind of just lumping movies in together. If I knew how good both of these movies would have been, I would have preferred to do like a full video on each of them, but I'll quickly get through them. The first one is The Paper, released apparently according to IMDb Mobile on the 6th of May 1994. As always, I'll correct that on screen because it is always wrong on IMDb Mobile. It sucks. Tagline for the movie: never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Michael Keaton plays a guy called Henry who works at a newspaper in New York City. It's not one of the big ones, but it's a newspaper nonetheless. And the opening of the movie, we see that these two white men, and the reason I say white men is we'll get to that, they've been killed and they're kind of shot dead in a car. And two black teenagers find them. For some reason, one of the black teenagers picks up the gun that's lying on the floor. Someone sees him, screams, and of course they get framed for murder just because they happen to be there. I feel like the point of that whole thing, because this is a running theme throughout the whole movie, is maybe a bit too dated now. You know, oh, you know, the black man, you know, found, got wrongfully accused because he was black. But I guess in the 90s it was more relevant, I guess you could say. And the paper that Michael Keaton works at, Henry, they didn't get the story, but every other paper did. So they're really in the shit, and they need to buck their ideas up for the next day's issue. So one of the big higher up people, played by Glenn Close, Alicia, she comes in for the day, and she's rarely there, and no one likes her either. But she comes in and she wants to make sure that they get the headline for the next day right. Michael Keaton's boss is played by Duvall, the amazing Robert Duvall, as Bernie. And they've got to try and decide what the headline will be, and this whole movie takes place over 24 hours, or that night pretty much, of them trying to find quotes, what they can use for the following day's headline. And Glenn Close's character, she's just like, just take a picture of the black kids and just put the headline as "got 'em." And Henry's kind of like, well, hang on, there's no proof that these black kids have done anything wrong. In fact, we've heard some leads that they had nothing to do with it. And she's like, well, they can be guilty tomorrow and innocent the next day. Just get a big headline out there. Henry's not happy with this. He's also, got a wife at home who's heavily pregnant, played by Marisa Tomei, Martha. And she wants him to take a job at a bigger newspaper, and he's got an interview that day, in fact. And he goes along and his mind's not in it, and he notices there's actually something on the guy who's giving him the interview. There's something on his table that he can use for the story, and so he sneaks a look at that, uses it in his paper. So the guy who he was speaking to get a job at this bigger newspaper that covers worldwide stories, he phones him up and he has a go at him for stealing his story off his table. And Keaton just gives this amazing rant, which is just absolutely brilliant. He's just like dropping F-bombs, slamming the phone down. It's one of my favourite Michael Keaton scenes ever. Just hilarious. There's some funny moments in the film. We also got Randy Quaid, I believe. I always get mixed up which one's what. Yeah, Randy Quaid. He plays an interesting character in the movie, and there's this crazy scene where he just shoots a stack of papers in the office, and it's just like, whoa, shit just got real. This was directed by Ron Howard, which again reunites Michael Keaton with director Ron Howard for the third and final time. And this movie, not too many interesting notes of trivia, to be honest, but I enjoyed it a lot. There was really good drama in it. I thought that Robert Duvall's character had a nice little side story, maybe a little underdeveloped, but I thought it was handled well. I liked the way it ended. Alicia as well, Glenn Close, I thought that her character was interesting, her relationship with Henry, Michael Keaton in the film, and how it all went. And it just gets really tense towards the end of the film. I really liked the tension, just kept building up, and it was just a really satisfying movie for me. Really, really great. Recommend you watch it.
Our first date. I really like to take things slowly. His best feature. You have nice feet. Well, workout. He has this almost fairy tale image of me.
Did you just snort? There you go, yeah.
Speechless starts Friday, December 16th at theaters everywhere.
Second movie is called The Speechless, and again, I'm sure that this release date is wrong. but Speechless was apparently released on the 16th of December 1994. The tagline, there are two sides to every relationship, don't trust either of them. Keaton plays a man called Kevin, who is mainly a sitcom writer, but he's kind of transitioned over into the world of writing speeches for political leaders. And he's at this kind of meeting, I guess you could say, and the movie takes place in New Mexico, and where he's going, it's like a political rally that's taking place over, I think, a few weeks. So he's like, he's going along with everyone, and he can't sleep. He's got sleeping problems, So he goes down to the shop and tries to find some sleeping pills. There's one packet left. Someone else grabs that packet, and it is Julia, played by Geena Davis, and she is also a writer for the other side of the of the opposing political party. Now she tells him that she's a reporter, so he's got no problem kind of getting along with her, and because they've both got insomnia, they meet up again in the cafe, or they bump into each other, spend the night together. There's an instant attraction, and they start getting it on, and then they realise we got to get up in the morning, so they cool off, and they're like, we'll meet up again tonight. But before they meet up, they actually end up at a school giving a talk about writing for politicians, and they realise who they are, and they get really angry at each other, and basically that's where it all sparks off, and then we just see this, the speech writing and their relationship, and the kind of rubbing each other the wrong way, and then coming back together, and then her old ex-boyfriend comes in, or ex-fiance, I think, Bob Freed, or Baghdad Bob, played by Christopher Reeve. It was awesome to see Christopher Reeve in this movie. I'm a big fan of Christopher Reeve. I think he's he was such a great actor. Tragic how his life turned out, really. In fact, this movie was released a year before his tragic accident. But something I didn't even realise until like maybe near the end of the movie, the third act. Holy shit! We got Michael Keaton and Geena Davis. They're the main love interest in the movie. That's Barbara and Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. So it didn't click in my head, and I was like, wow. And I was like, hang on a minute, Michael Keaton and Christopher Reeve, fucking Batman and Superman. This is amazing. And they shared one scene together, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was really funny. They played off each other really well. And what I loved about Bob is that he was kind of the dick of the movie. He's a war reporter, and he's always wearing this kind of sleeveless khaki kind of vest that's got like bullet holes in it and stuff, just to show off that he's been reporting in like war situations in Iraq and stuff, and he's just like really cocky about it. But because it's Christopher Reeve, you can't help but like him at the same time. I just don't think Christopher Reeve was born to play any villainous character, because I still kind of liked him a little bit, and he was really funny. But there's a great bit where Keaton's talking to him, and Bob's just nonchalantly going, oh yeah, see this vest? It's bomb shrapnel from Iraq. And Kevin, Michael Keaton, just looks at his shirt and goes, yeah, someone puked on me a few weeks ago. It's a funny movie, not as good as The Paper in terms of, if we're comparing them. I don't know why we'd compare them, but they both came out in the same year. But I enjoyed it a lot. The romance, gets a little bit, I guess, cliche at times, particularly towards the end of the movie, but I just really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. Just don't expect too much out of it. Don't expect like a, When Harry Met Sally kind of, romantic comedy classic. It's just a fun movie. It's funny, and there's a nice bit of romance in there too. I thought Geena Davis was great, Christopher Reeve was awesome, and Keaton was really good as well. Just a really fun movie. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Cause I don't fucking live in the fucking world. I live in fucking New York City. So go fuck yourself.